and some of the pieces were gone from where I put in there. Well, anyway, I came back from school the next night, and I would do the same thing, and I would go ahead and try to put this aircraft together, and I'd come back the next day and find out that pieces were missing from it. Well, what I eventually found out, and somebody put a whisper in my ear there, and my brother is sitting over there at the table next to you, young lady. I found out that, you know, bullying him, what he did every night after I worked in that aeroplane, and started putting those strings together, he would get up in the middle of the night and start pulling the pieces apart and throwing them away. So Marvin, I never confessed that I knew what you were doing, but...
We're not going to put Marvin on the microphone. I got a feeling this could actually go on for a bit, but he's looking pretty brave at the moment. He's got his hand raised. Do you have a retort or a question, Marvin? You have both. I like this. Okay, Marvin, here, why don't you go? Because this is going to add, I think, some really great background.
Well, I think I'm old enough now. I don't have to worry as much. So I'll confess, yes, I was the one that was breathing. Harry was older than me, he was bigger than me, and it was just impossible for me to beat him up. That was it. My question, on the other hand, is I don't want to get you arrested or anything, but while you were flying this P-51 the other day, did you happen to go by, what is that, Stone Mountain, where some of your relatives are living?
You're going to get somebody in trouble.
I think we're about ready to go to the next question. We don't have any representatives here from the FAA FSDO, which is good. So here, one more question, please.
My name is J.T. Holland with the Atlanta chapter, and I also flew F-4s. And I wondered, in the day when you guys flew the P-40s, the P-47s, and the 51s, did you have G-suits at the time? Was that standard equipment? Yeah, G-suits.
Did you have G-suits in the Air Force? Did you have G-suits?
What's a G-suit?
That answered that question.
Leather jackets. I mean,
They began to realize that you needed it because of the G-forces that you could often pull in the aircraft. But in the early aircraft, we didn't have any such in my experience.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's the very first thing you gotta realize, we were 20 years old. What's a G? But yes, we experienced that, I know that. And in fact, strangely enough, you know, the kinds of things that can happen to you in a new environment, they used to tell us that with that exposure that we were getting to some sons raised, that many of us might come back and not be able to have any children. Well, I wondered about that, but I only had 8.
I honestly don't know how we can top that response. So I'm going to go to a question here in the back.
Thank you, gentlemen. Mr. Captain Brian Settles stood up a while ago to ask a question, and as a journalist, I got to do his story. He flew 199 combat missions in Vietnam as a fighter pilot, and when I asked him why he didn't go for 200, he said, I thought I was pushing my luck. And Mr. Colonel Edgar Lewis down here, I did his story too. The colonel was one of the first African-American B-52 pilots for the United States Air Force. Great story, great gentleman down there. Okay? I do have a question for you, gentlemen. Which German fighter did you fear the most?
Which German fighter did you fear the most?
Well, that's an interesting question. Both the Folklore 49 and the Messerschmitt were pretty much similar, and I would compare it in the capabilities to what we got in the P-51 Mustang, and that level. But as the war went on, and we were destroying Germany's war-making potential, even though they had the ME-262 early, it was a very vulnerable aircraft because a lot of it, folks don't even know, was wood, not metal. But that's because of what had been done to the resources that they had available in developing the early jet.
Great, that's a really great question. Let's take some other questions from like back here. I know Robert Harris back here is a budding P-51 pilot because he's spending time on the T-6, which I heard so squirrely. I heard the P-51 is actually the trainer for the T-6, right? So you start out there and go. But any other questions kind of here in the back? Okay, Robert, that was an easy one. Kind of got that teed up.
Okay, we did an event down in Tuskegee last July. And one of the gentlemen told me a rumor that you used to fly the P-40s under a certain bridge. So did anybody do that during their training while they were down there?
There was a rumor going on at the time there that happened. I don't know about it myself, but I heard the rumor myself. There was some lakes up above Tuskegee there called Martin Lakes, and I understand it was a nice place to take your plane and ring it out and fly down and buzz the water and try to get the catfish to jump out of the water and stuff like that. But as I said, these are only rumors. I never said that.
So Harry, you didn't go under the bridge like Georgia 400 over the Chattahoochee River when you were out. Okay. So make sure about that. What other questions do we have back here before I go up to the front? Any more? Oh, we got one here in the corner. Hang on.
We got another answer.
Under the bridge itself was not really the problem. I mean, you could do that. The thing that actually was, how about those things that are dangling and so forth? You run into one of those things on the way, and you had it. Now, I unfortunately came very close to that. You know what? I told you I had, or maybe you didn't, I had a lot of assistants. And every time I took a Tuskegee Airmen home with me, they got married. But unfortunately, he did indeed crash, flying under a bridge in the Ohio River, and he was killed.
There's another story, if you've heard it, but we'll all deny it, if there's any story of P-40s flying inside the Packard proving ground in Detroit. Well, no, yes, and we did.
And this is fairly long story, but one of the fellows at Tuskegee was reported to have flown under the bridge, and they decided they're going to have court-martial for him. And I got put on the court-martial board, and they have something in those boards, it's called the law officer. And the law officer came to me, he says, you know, the commander wants to make a real exception out of this guy. He wants to make it so that everybody will know, don't fly under a bridge. Well, he said, so I said, my God, this guy is directing me to vote this guy guilty, and I haven't even heard the case yet. You know, so, but anyway, we went through the thing, and we heard the case, and they voted again. And this time, when they voted, one person said he wasn't guilty. Guy gave us a lecture about what had happened in the presentation of the case. But then he took a vote again, came up still again. Well, the president of the board says, well, it looks like we're not going to be able to do anything because this guy has a friend on the board.
I've been doing the math. I want to know how old each of you is. And if you had an opportunity to go back and tell your 20-year-old self something, what would it be?
How old are you, and what would you tell your 20-year-old self?
Well, yeah, thank you. Well, I'm 97. My mother used to try to take something off my age. She said, because every time you get older, I get older. But yes, if I was to go back and ask myself what I would have done if I was back to 20 years old, I can only say I think I would have done a lot of the things a lot sooner.
My life's blessing will be that I'll be 98 December 7th. And what I would tell the youngster is don't let anybody tell you cannot do something. You got to make that up in your own mind that you can.
Well, I just turned 93 on August the 19th, and what was the rest of it? Oh, that's easy. Stay in school. No C's, no D's, no F, A's and B's. And I preach this to so many of the kids when I go and talk to them back in Port Clinton. And I have a lot of fun with it. But I tell all of them, you can do anything you want to do, you just don't know how fortunate you are. And there's so much money out there that's available for kids who, if they really want to go on with a college education. There are tons of dollars out there. All they got to do is to dream. Dream is whatever the dream may be, and just pursue it. And the opportunities are there, many more than we'll ever have. But the only limitations are God-given talents, and if you don't succeed in one, then switch to something else.
I turned 93 on July 4th of this year, and I think if I had it to do all over again, I think, as Harold said here, I would go ahead and concentrate more on the education that was afforded me at hand there. I wasted a lot of time in my younger years there, which caused me to go to school later on in life and go to New York University, get my degree in engineering, but I was quite old. I was in my 30s when I got my degree there, and it was like things opened up for me. So if I could go ahead and just inculcate the idea in the kids today, or the children that we talk to, is to take advantage of what's offered you as far as education is concerned and try to soak it all in. I would like to say as the last thing here is the gentleman on the right there who's looking down at this time. I call him the recruiter. He and I were in the same squadron together overseas. And when we came back home, he called me up and he says, Harry, he says, I'd like you to come over and meet my family. And when I walked in, his sister was standing there. He introduced me to his little sister, and it ended up in a 68-year marriage. I call him the recruiter because this was a repeat. He had done this to another guy. Another guy married his other sister. And somebody asked him, well, Jewish, did you repeat that or anything? He says, no. He says, I ran out of sisters.
We're going to come back to the flying questions. But actually, I couldn't ask for a better set of kind of closing comments from everybody here. So let's give a big round of applause for our 20-year-olds. Big round of applause. I think you got one more thing to say, and it's not about somebody's sister, I hope. We'll do this. We'll actually move on to the next portion. You go ahead.
You are clear. He's my brother-in-law.
So if we want to have more family discussions, we're actually going to have them kind of out here to the right. So the next portion of our program is we actually got a signature line. So if you have artifacts or you want to buy some lithographs of the red tail P-51C, they're actually out there. So I've been like texting Jay back and forth. But I just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I think it's been a really great experience all day, and it's something we can kind of like take home. And frankly, I think these four fellas wore out Zelly and I, so we're just going to go kind of like take a nap in the couches up there. So, but it all worked out well. Anyway, thanks for coming tonight. And if you would, we're going to let these four gentlemen go up to the signature and receiving line, and we'll do some signatures there. But thanks again.
Nice meeting you. And I don't know if it'll be tomorrow, but you're encouraged me to go on to my own. I may go to my own church.
Tell Bill hello when you see him.
Oh, Bill.
Bill Long.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. Wait, I've got your Alfred, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And Ken Snell.
I am going to do that tomorrow. I'll come next Sunday to you.
All right. Great.
Where's that card? I have your card. I'm sorry.
I got a picture of you too, man. I'm dolled up. My wife sells Mary Kay. So. Okay.
That was.
Did it flash? I got a good picture.